Saw 2 ended up being a pretty good sequel over the first one, in my opinion, but you don't have to take my word for it. But what about the third one? Well, let's find what I've got to say about in a new kind of way. Here's a re-review of Saw 3. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. I'm the Big D, and this time around, I bring to you a re-review of the 2006 horror flick Saw 3, released by Lionsgate for Twisted Pictures, directed by Darren Lynn Bousman, from a screenplay by Lee Whannell, and a story by Whannell and James Wan, the director of the first film. This is a sequel to Saw 2 and third installment of the series. Starring Tobin Bell, Shawnee Smith, Angus Macfadyen, Bahar, Soomekh, and Dina, Meyer. The film was released on October 27, 2006. Well, though it got dissed though big time, it still, however, went on to become the highest grossing film of the series in the international market and highest grossing film of the series overall. In the film, John Kramer forces his victims to participate in deadly games in order to test their will to live, and why he puts a man named Jeff through a series of tests of his ability to forgive after his son was killed by a drunk driver. While John's apprentice, Amanda, has kidnapped a doctor named Lynn and tasked her with keeping John, who is bedridden with terminal cancer, alive long enough for Jeff to complete his game. Now then, I'll go into the whole story. If you've not seen my reviews of the first two Saw flicks, click on that card coming up, and that'll take you to my new Saw Redo playlist. Okay, here we go. After being imprisoned in the bathroom, Detective Eric Matthews breaks his foot with a toilet lid to escape. 6 months later, the scene of a jigsaw game is discovered by Officer Riggs' SWAT team. The victim, Troy, had to rip chains from his body to escape a bomb. Detective Alison Carey points out that the room's exit was welded shut, breaking Jigsaw's modus operandi of allowing his victims an opportunity to survive. Carrie is abducted and awakens in a harness hooked into her ribs. She retrieves the key from a beaker of acid as instructed, but opening the lock does not keep the trap from killing her. Dr. Lynn Denlon is abducted from the hospital she works at and brought to the now bedridden John Kramer. His apprentice, Amanda, locks a collar armed with 5 shotgun shells around Lynn's neck that is connected to John's heart rate monitor and will detonate if she moves out of range or John dies. Lynn is instructed by Amanda to keep him alive until another test subject has completed his game. The victim, Jeff, a grief-stricken father who was consumed with vengeance after the death of his son Dylan in a drunk driving crash years earlier, must undergo a series of tests in an abandoned meat packing plant to confront those involved in the case. Jeff's first test leads him to a meat freezer where he finds Danica, the only witness to the crash, who refused to testify in court, completely naked and chained to a metal frame inside the plant's freezer, with nozzles inside the frame spraying her with water to quicken her hypothermia. Jeff retrieves the key after Danica persuades him to help her, but she freezes to death before he can do so. In his next test, Judge Halden, who passed a lenient sentence on the driver who caused Dylan's death, is chained at the neck at the bottom of a vat. Rotting pig carcasses are dropped into a grinder that slowly fills the vat until Jeff saves him by burning Dylan's belongings in an incinerator to retrieve a key. His third test involves Timothy, the driver who killed Dylan, who is strapped to a machine that will slowly twist and snap his limbs and then his head. The key is tied to the trigger of an enclosed shotgun that goes off after Jeff retrieves it, killing Calden. Jeff cries out twice that he forgives Timothy, but even so, he cannot save him in time. The machine twists and breaks Timothy's neck. Now for the final act in the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to sub this video at once. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen this movie already, please continue. Okay, you've been warned. Lynn is forced to perform an improvised surgery to relieve pressure on John's brain. The surgery is successful, and Lynn convinces John to order Amanda to remove the collar. However, Amanda refuses and threatens Lynn's life, having become jealous of her interactions with John. John pleads with Amanda, who admits that she no longer believes in his philosophy and had rigged Troy and Carrie's traps. Refusing to listen to John's warnings, Amanda shoots Lynn just as Jeff arrives. Jeff, who is revealed to be Lynn's husband, retaliates by shooting Amanda with a gun provided by John after his test. As Amanda dies, John reveals that Lynn's test was actually hers. John was aware of her motives and unwilling to allow a murderer to continue his legacy. He then addresses Jeff, offering to call an ambulance for Lynn if he has learned everything from his ordeal and accept one last test, either killing John or forgiving him. In response, Jeff slashes John's throat with a power saw, activating Lynn's collar as the room is sealed shut. Before dying, John takes out a tape recorder to inform Jeff that his daughter, Corbett, is also captured and no one but him knows where she's being held. End of story. For real. So, what did I think of Saw 3? Well, I will say the film's good in some ways. It's almost good good as the last one, but not quite though. But I will say it provided with some pretty eerie, spine-tingling fright fest of a tale and what have you, with its kills and its setting and what have you. Much like the previous film, the film was immediately greenlit after the successful opening of the previous film. The film went on to make 164 million worldwide on its $10 million budget, which eventually, of course, would make it a big hit at the box office. And to this day, it remains the most successful film in the franchise to this day, surpassing the previous film. But anyway, Saw 3 proved to be yet another pretty good sequel. Though it wasn't screened in advance for the critics, though, Rotten Tomatoes has this at 29% average grade, saying this does little beyond repeating its predecessor's tropes on a gorier level. Metacritic has a score of 48, and Audiences Poll by Cinema Score gave it a B. Variety's Robert Kohler gave it a mixed review, criticizing the use of several flashbacks in the film, saying that it hindered the movie, ratcheting down its tension and pace. He explained that a bigger problem lies with Lee Whannell's script, which utilizes so many flashbacks and explanatory inserts that the tension, a defining feature of the first Saw, is lost. But did, however, praise the acting. The Orlando Sentinel gave it 2 out of 5 stars, criticizing the plot and acting. The San Francisco was hard on this, criticizing the plot. And the LA Times said that more gore is really all Saw 3 has to offer. Entertainment Weekly gave it a C, and what have you. And that's all I want to say. I can't find much more decent response. The film was also nominated for a Saturn Award for Best Horror Film, but lost to The Descent. It also got nominated the Teen Choice Awards for Choice Movie Horror or Thriller, but that lost to Disturbia. And Bell was nominated for Best Villain at the MTV Movie Awards, but lost to Jack Nicholson for his role in The Departed. Well, I'm gonna say Saw 3's well, factually a little bit of a mixed bag and what have you. Not maybe not one of the greatest and what have you, but it came a little bit close. So I kind of would say it would be right down below the first two in ways. But I will say it does have a pretty good score. Once again, composed by Charlie Clouser. I have to give it credit and what have you, and it did prove to be pretty suspenseful. At least I got the unrated cut of the film, which made even more scarier and what have you, and eerie and all that jazz. But even so, I found Saw 3 to be pretty fair, but I will say it's in it as kind of a little, well, I might get into more on that when I go to Saw 4 next time. But anyway, we do have a pretty good set of cast of characters. Tobin Bell once again takes on the role of Jigsaw, aka John Kramer, still good. Shawnee Smith returns as Amanda once again, and I thought her performance was good. Angus Macfadyen played Jeff. I'll give him credit. He did pretty good. Bahar Soomekh played Lynn. Really good. Well, we got to see a little bit of him. Donnie Wahlberg returned as Eric Matthews, and Dina Meyer returned as Carrie. We get a brief appearance of Lee Whannell as Adam, and that's about all I can say. And there's many others and what have you. Barry Flyman as Judge Holden, Deborah Lynn McCabe as Danica. Yeah, and Befo Koahau, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, as Tim. Yeah, they're good. I think of the kills, I've gotta say that the the twisting bits was probably the best one, what have you. So I gotta give it credit for that. That was severely painful and what have you. So overall, I think that was probably one of the coolest kills in the film. But even so, Saw 3 can be a mixed bag, but still, I thought it was fair and what have you, so I kind of actually did like it. So, anyway, but would I recommend the film? I'd say, again, as I've said with the last one, give it a one time watch if you're a hardcore completionist, okay? So, what did you think of Saw 3? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, and you know the rest. Join me next time when I review Saw 4. And if you like this, check out my reviews for some of these other films. In the upper left-hand corner, check out my review of Friday the 13th Part 3. The upper right-hand corner is my review of the third Conjuring film, The Devil Made Me Do It. Or if you would like maybe something else that was pretty much of a terror tale, why don't you check out my review of Tales from the Crypt Presents Demon Night in the bottom left hand corner. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc. Then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.